Well, 21-year-old West
Sugars and 6-year-old gelding Popular Port combined today to win the $50,000 Kilmore Pacing Cup. From the standing start, the marathon over 3,030 metres brought together a top-class field.
The South Australian Popular Port found 10 metres to Bon Marché. Quite famous under pressure. J.R. Ewing making ground. I'm Orphan not going well. Well back is Gary Linden, Springfield Raja, Ben's Image at the 150. Popular Port 8 metres in front. Bon Marché is trying very hard from J.R. Ewing. Gary Linden making ground. But Popular Port perfectly driven by Ross Sugars. And it's the South Australian Cup. Popular Port wins by 6 metres to Bon Marché. 8 metres away third was J.R. Ewing.
The winner, Popular Port, started at 4-1. A protest second against third was upheld, with J.R. Ewing getting the nod at 12-1 and Bon Marché at 16. And the unplaced favourite at 5-2 was I'm Orphan.
In rather delightful weather too, I would imagine,
up there, Brian.
Good, Rob, thank you. Tats Lotto now, and no winner has been found in Division 1, which will jackpot.
Set up in a local 7-Eleven store, you'll now be able to pick up a winner along with your bread and milk.
These days you can get just about anything at a 7-Eleven. The one-stop shops are always there when you run out of almost any essential. And now that includes luck. You can bet you'll find them open, and from today you can simply bet. For the first time, a computerised betting system has been installed in a 7-Eleven, giving punters around-the-clock access to the racecourse automatically.
There are many punters who are not able to get to the agencies before they close. They're able to come in here on the way home from work, place their bets and go home and listen to the race.
The only system of its type in the world, the process of actually laying a bet is child's play. Purchase a voucher from the cashier which gives you access to the computer. Pick your winners, then feed the terminal. It really is pretty simple. The only thing which isn't automated, or of course guaranteed, is the payout.
No, you can't cash your winning bet here at the 7-Eleven, but there are 425 TABs around Victoria for people to call into.
And undoubtedly plenty of money was passed through that particular TAB agency on today's running of the $50,000 Kilmore Pacing Cup. And with perfect weather conditions, a big crowd was in attendance to witness Australia's richest provincial harness event. Today's big event was generally considered to be one of the most open Kilmore Cups on record, and the huge crowd supported at least 5 or 6 runners in the 3,038 metre handicap. Finally, Vin Knight's drive I'm Orphan started favourite, with Knight attempting his 4th victory in the race. Amongst the other fancies were 2 Alan Hunter-owned runners, Bronski Beat and the backmarker from 25 metres Quite Famous, while South Australian pacer Popular Port also had his share of admirers. When the field was released, I'm Orphan galloped from the tapes and made his task very much harder, while Quite Famous commenced brilliantly from the backmark and hit the front within a lap. Popular Port had enjoyed the run of the race though, and when Ross Sugars said go at the 500, the cup was all over. Here's how 3DB's Brian Markovic saw the finish.
Popular Port 8 metres in front. Bon Marché is trying very hard from J.R. Ewing. Gary Linden making ground, but Popular Port perfectly driven by Ross Sugars, and it's the South Australian Cup. Popular Port wins by 6 metres to Bon Marché. 8 metres away third was J.R. Ewing.
I knew all along that he would be up. As soon as the field come out, I thought he would be able to compete pretty competitively with him. I didn't expect him to win so easily as what he did in the finish, but I thought he'd be right with him.
Everything seemed to go your way throughout the race. You had a beautiful run.
Yeah, everything did, and luck plays such a vital part in good races against good horses, and I had the best run, so I was entitled to win it.
And Popular Port started officially at 4-1. Protest third against second was upheld. J.R. Ewing at 12s, Bon Marché at 16s, and the favourite I'm Orphan unplaced at 5-2.
In motor, the rich Kilmore Cup, the Ross Sugars trained gelding has now won 6 of his last 7 starts and will be set for the major races this summer.
A brilliant field lined up in today's $50,000 Kilmore Cup, despite the scratching of the smart Van der Poort. Punters sent out the Bob Knight trained I'm Orphan favourite, but there was plenty of support for backmarker Quite Famous and Adelaide star Popular Port. After galloping at the start, I'm Orphan was given a tough task, but it was Ross Sugars who planned his race to perfection when Popular Port challenged the lead at the 400. Popular Port has got a big lead before the turn, 200 to go. He's about 10 metres in front of Bon Marche second, then Quite Famous. J.R. Ewing is out into the clear and running on, and then Gary Linden. Popular Port well clear, halfway up the straight. Bon Marche is running on well. Popular Port getting tired, but he's 10 metres in front, and Popular Port wins the Kilmore Cup. Popular Port first by 8 metres.
He's a very good horse. He's really come of age in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's improved in leaps and bounds with hard racing, and he time trialled in 156.5 about 3 weeks ago, and that was probably when we realised we had something special in the stable.
And the result of the Kilmore Cup, 11, 7 and 3 were the numbers, with the protest third against second upheld, with Popular Port paying $2.85 and $1 even. The trifecta, $505.75. The quadrilla at Kilmore today paid $119.80 for 5, 8, 5 and 7. The daily double for 11 and 7 paid $23.65, and the extra double for 5 and 4, $195.
The front, as most of